These fresh stories tonight on the Night Team reports the first night of spring looks more like the middle of winter. Snow and cold make a big comeback. We'll have team coverage of the snow, the mess it made, and what to expect as you head back to work tomorrow morning. Counting the homeless. The Census Bureau is trying to do it tonight. Advocates say it will not work. John Brice will have a live report. Plus, we'll tell you about a local girl who wrote her way into a Michael Jordan dream. Weatherman Peter Bernard is tracking the storm.
We'll tell you when the snow will end and what you can expect for Wednesday.
Plus, a change in taxes in Niskayuna. Schenectady decides on what to do with its schools, and the Night Team Sports Extra with Budd Mishkin. The Night Team Report is next.
Ernie Tatro, Tracy Egan, Mike Cairns, and John Cesarich. Now, live, the #1 news in the Capital District. This is the News Center 6 Night Team Report.
Winter makes a comeback on the first day of spring. The snow has fallen most of this night, making getting around a messy and dangerous thing to do. Good evening. Ernie has the night off. The calendar says March 20th, but the weather says something else. Snow has covered the area tonight, and we have team coverage. We begin with the latest on the storm that has left anywhere from a trace of snow to more than 10 inches in some parts. Weatherman Peter Bernard has been tracking the storm all night from the Weather Center. Peter, where's it going?
Well, it looks like it's pushing on out of here, and that's the good news, because the heaviest snow seems to be moving out of the Capital District. The heaviest, though, today in the Catskills, the western Mohawk Valley, and over in the Green Mountains, where some folks got up to 2 feet of snow. You're taking a look at the map right now. It shows North Creek at 8 inches and 12 to 24 inches in the Green Mountains. But you go to the south of that, Bennington, North Adams, and Pittsfield, either no snow at all or just a dusting. You can see Delanson at 10.5 and Gilboa at 10 or 8 and Prattsville at 10 inches. Most of the snow is now pushing out of our area, and it will be ending in about the next hour and a half. And behind it, we're looking at some rather cool air, but a little bit nicer than today. We'll have that forecast for you in about 5 minutes. Tracy.
All right. Thanks, Peter. And the heavy, wet snow that fell today made life miserable for a lot of people tonight. Night Team reporter Marianne Worley was out in the thick of it tonight. She's back now, and she's dried off to tell us what it was like out there.
Well, what it was like out there, in a word, Tracy, was horrible. Now, reports from local police departments say the major roads are in good shape tonight. It's the secondary streets that might still be a little slippery. But the name of the game tonight was coping, as Old Man Winter shocked us again. It was the first day of spring, but Mother Nature's prerogative is to be fickle, so crews were out tonight trying to keep up. How long do you think you guys are going to be going tonight?
All night. All night. Salting all night.
They'll be out all night to prevent accidents like the one involving a school bus in Columbia County this afternoon. Injured were 11 children from the Ichabod Crane School District. 6-year-old Tiffany Steele was admitted to Columbia Green Hospital with a ruptured spleen. The driver was ticketed for going too fast in unsafe conditions. And in Saratoga County, a tractor-trailer jackknifed and hit a car. Injuries there were minor. And motorists aren't the only people having their share of trials and tribulations with the weather tonight. Bob Ward thought he wouldn't see his snow shovel again for at least another 10 months.
It was all packed and away. I was sure I wouldn't be using it.
But here you are.
Here I am, hopefully, for the last time.
And as if the problems with the roads and the sidewalks weren't enough tonight, we have reports of weather-related power outages all over the Capital District, including Bern and Albany County and parts of Schoharie County. Niagara Mohawk also reports several thousand people without electricity in the North Country. Welcome to the first day of spring.
Thanks a lot, Marianne. Well, for the latest on the storm and what it will mean for your morning commute and your plans for the day, please join the First News team tomorrow morning at 6:30. And slippery roads are also to blame for an accident that has left singer Gloria Estefan in critical condition. Police say the singer's bus was rammed from behind by a tractor-trailer. They say the bus had slowed to avoid another accident. Estefan, her husband, her son, and 3 others were injured. The rest of her band, the Miami Sound Machine, had already arrived in Syracuse for a scheduled concert. Well, despite the snow, a legion of clipboard-toting counters are blanketing the country tonight. They're checking out shelters, low-rent hotels, motels, parks, and abandoned buildings. It is S night for the Census Bureau, time to try and count the homeless in this country. Night Team reporter John Brice has been tracking the census takers in this area tonight. He joins us now live from Albany with more.
Tracy, estimates are that right here in the Capital District, there are between 4,000 and 7,000 homeless people, and many of them are right here in the city of Albany. Well, tonight, the U.S. Census Bureau tried to go out and count some of these often forgotten and overlooked people.
This is one of the Albany shelters targeted by the census tonight. But only about half of the men here opted to fill out the paperwork that's necessary to be counted.
I'm going to get back on my feet. I'm not going to stay in this place forever.
So do you think it's important that you were counted?
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's good that the government wants to know how many people, you know. He's thinking about the people at least, you know.
They're just embarrassed.
They're embarrassed by it.
Yeah. See, my mother kicked me out, so I've been in the home for 12 years. So that's why I'm on the walk in the streets. But I think it's good for them to make these for homeless.
This group of Grateful Dead followers is the type that usually falls through the cracks. They pride themselves on being drifters, and tonight they didn't want to be counted.
I don't want to feel that all that unnecessary. That doesn't all I am. It's another number anyway, so what I got to fill it out for? You think it's important?
No, I don't think the government really cares about anybody in the country anyway.
But the census workers say tonight's bad weather actually helped their counting because most homeless people sought shelter.
So we visited institutions, shelters, motels where the rate is $12 or less, as well as subsidized motels. The response, the rate, the numbers we found were much greater than expected.
Well, a lot of advocates for the homeless don't quite agree with that statement. They say that there is no way that the U.S. Census Bureau can get an accurate handle on how many homeless people there are out there. And they just wish that the U.S. Census Bureau would come out and publicly say that there's no way that they can get an accurate handle. That way the lawmakers will take their plight a little more seriously. Tracy.
Yeah, Ernie's enjoying the night off, John. But the census taker was surprised that he found so many people, but did he think he had found a good portion of those who are out there homeless?
Well, they wouldn't exactly say that on the record. He said that tonight they're going to go out and look in all the back alleyways and the abandoned buildings, which they didn't look in at this point. But, of course, the advocates for the homeless say there is no way that they'll ever be able to get an accurate count on these people.
All right. Thanks, John.
You're welcome.
The governor's budget cuts will increase the homeless problem drastically. That's the word tonight from protesters in Albany who braved this wintry weather. Several members of the Public Employees Federation of New York trudged through tonight's snowy mess and built a shanty town to protest state budget cuts and firings. PEF President Rand Condell says the governor is laying off the people who help those who help the mentally ill. He says 1/3 of the Office of Mental Health's outpatient services have been slashed in the budget. Tonight's protest is a prelude to a major demonstration that's planned for tomorrow. 1,000 people are expected to turn out. After months of sometimes heated debate, the Schenectady School Board has finally approved a plan for merging the city's schools. The board has voted to merge the city's 2 high schools into one. That will be Linton High, and that will take place in 1992. As for elementary and middle schools, the board has decided to create 3 from the existing 4. Oneida, Central Park, and Mount Pleasant will remain open. In this unit, some good news for property owners left dumbfounded by a reevaluation. The town board approved a homestead provision tonight. It shaves 23 cents off each $1,000 of assessed value. Last week, scores of angry homeowners blasted the board after a reevaluation was done on property in this unit. If the school board agrees to the provision, the amount taken off taxes will go up to $1.17 per thousand. On the night beat tonight, part of Route 151 in Rensselaer County has been washed out by tonight's rain and snow. Police say traffic is down to just 1 lane between East Skodak and Rensselaer. Elsewhere, a busy night handling minor fender benders for police. And coming up on the Night Team Report, a local hospital is about to start a new program to fight AIDS among employees. But first, colonial rule ends and freedom begins for the last African colony. That leads our nightcap when we come back. Amid tribal dances and superpower handshakes, the world's youngest nation is born. That leads our nightcap of top stories. The last of Africa's colonies is tonight an independent nation. With dignitaries from around the world on hand, Namibia gained its independence from South Africa today. Thousands of blacks and whites joined hands in celebrating the newfound freedom. The jury is about to get the case of Joseph Hazelwood. Final arguments are being heard in Alaska in the trial of the Exxon Valdez skipper. The prosecutor says Hazelwood took a gamble and lost, causing this nation's largest oil spill ever. Former Philippine First Lady Imelda Marcos was also in court today. She's charged with racketeering for allegedly looting the Philippine treasury while her husband Ferdinand was president. 53-year-old Richard Ruff says he signed a statement back in 1987 stating that he killed his cousin 33 years ago because he was scared. The former Albany cop testified in his own defense today in Albany County Court. He's charged with sodomizing and killing 11-year-old Billy Ruff in Colony in 1957. Thousands rallied at the state capitol today asking for a financial bailout of hospitals in New York. The State Hospital Association says the governor's plan for reforming the reimbursement system would worsen already bad conditions. And that's our nightcap wrap of other top stories tonight. Still ahead on the Night Team Report, we'll talk to a Pittsfield girl who is on top of the world. The basketball world, that is. But first, the snow keeps falling outside. Peter, I guess it's going to stop soon.
It is going to stop soon. And I'll tell you if we're going to have to contend with any more of this tomorrow. The forecast coming up.
John Sesserich has the night off, so he didn't have to go out and about in this mess tonight. You were well off if you could stay home, too.
Yeah, he likes this kind of weather. It's fun to forecast. Yeah, we did pretty good, too. It's about doing what we thought it was going to do.
That's good to know. You did predict. You did warn us. It was still nasty despite your warnings,
Am I
Peter.
allowed to do this?
Sure.
All right. A lot of snow out there, and it is coming down still in some areas. We're going to get to that. You know, at the airport, they had over 1.5 inches of rain, but 3 inches of snow. If all that were snow, we would have had about 10 or 13 inches of snow. Luckily, that did not occur here in the Capital District. But some folks, boy, really got walloped tonight with lots of snowfall. Let's go down to the Empire State Plaza and take a look at a live picture as we take a look at downtown Albany. And we'll tell you that our high temperature today made it up to 39 degrees. Overnight low was 33, and at the airport officially, 3.1 inches of snow. It feels a lot more, though, because it's so heavy and gloppy. Light snow and rain outside right now, even some fog thrown in. Temperature is 35 degrees. You can see the sneeing in the background right now. Winds are out of the northwest at 8, and humidity right now at 92%. Let's go up top to, first of all, the National Weather Service radar. We can see the light rain shower and some snow to boot in here as well in the Catskills, and it's moving very, very slowly. Elsewhere, southern Vermont's getting a little bit and over towards Pittsfield. Let's go to the maps right now and see what's going on. We've got lots of cloud cover overhead, but the good news is it's starting to push on out of our area. The storm system is now near Cape Cod. It's moving off to the northeast ever so slowly. You can see all the cloud cover associated with it now. Now, the winter storm warnings have been discontinued for most of our area. They're just in effect for the northeast kingdom of Vermont, and they will be discontinued a little bit later on as well. Here's where the low-pressure center is, and you can see the wraparound coming around here, bringing in the cool temperatures. Some of those cold temperatures have abated the last couple of hours, and you notice we were 33 last hour, and we're now up to 35. It has raised just enough to get a little bit of rain out of all this. Super radar right now shows where it's snowing, starting to push on out to the northeast. Some snowfall totals in the Green Mountains, as we said, up to 2 feet of snow. Ski resorts are loving it. Unfortunately, a lot of them are closed, and the season's done for them. A little bit of batch of snow down in the Susquehanna region down towards Binghamton, but generally the snowfall is over with for the time being, and it will be ending in the Capital District probably in the next 45 minutes to around an hour or so. If you're going to be traveling tomorrow, look out for breezy conditions. Warm, though, along the coast. Boston around 49 with a little bit of cloud cover. Now Buffalo way 45, and up towards Montreal, some leftover flurries in the area, and 41 degrees for a top temperature. Regionally, it looks like this. Lots of sun in the area tomorrow. 45 western Mohawk Valley, where they had lots of snowfall, down to the Catskills, 45, and 48 down out to the east, where we're expecting a high of around 48 degrees. Capital District and vicinity forecast overnight looks like this. Snow ending, low temperature of around 30 degrees, sunrise at 5:57. Then for tomorrow, cloud-sun mix will be windy and mild with a high around 45. Winds out of the northwest, 10 to 15 miles an hour. Tomorrow night, partly cloudy and low down to 30 degrees. Sunset 6:08. Forecast you can remember on Thursday. We're going to warm up nicely on Thursday with a high of around 50. Friday, a chance of a shower or two and 48. Cools off by Saturday and a high of only 35 degrees. As far as wake-up call tomorrow morning, clouds and flurries will be lingering in the area. Temperature 34, sunrise at 5:57. What we had today will be it for a little bit longer, and it's going to be nice tomorrow. You won't have to shovel the driveway because the snow will do it for you.
I just hope it snows again when Ernie comes back to work so I can take off and go skiing and enjoy it.
I'll see if I can arrange that for you.
Please do. Thank you. Still to come on the Night Team Report, saving your life when a heart attack strikes. I'll tell you about a way to increase your chances of survival before you ever get to the hospital. And it was a down day on Wall Street. The Dow Jones Industrial fell nearly 17 points, finishing the day at 2738.74.
I'm Jack Arnicke. Everything you need to get your day underway. That's what we provide on First News. Join me with meteorologist Neil Asano and traffic reporter Cheryl Schubert. First News, Monday through Friday at 6:30 in the morning.
My Family Health Report begins tonight with word that one local hospital has begun an active program to prevent employees from getting AIDS. Saratoga Hospital has introduced what it's calling cutting-edge technology for employees exposed to the HIV virus through accidental contact with a needle used on known AIDS patients. Once an employee is pricked by a contaminated needle, he or she will be on AZT treatment within 4 hours and will stay on AZT for up to a month. AZT attacks the HIV virus that causes AIDS. By using AZT against the AIDS virus in its earliest cycle, the virus is suppressed. Experts project the odds of catching AIDS after one exposure to a contaminated AIDS needle at 1 in 250. Saratoga Hospital adopted the protocol after an employee there was pricked by an AIDS-infected needle last month. A new study of drugs that help prevent permanent damage in people who've suffered heart attacks could change the way your local ambulance crews treat heart attack victims. An important study found that 92% of the time, clogged arteries can be reopened if heart attack victims receive an immediate shot of a clot-dissolving drug. The study out of Rhode Island Hospital suggests ambulance crews could save lives if they administer the drugs on their way to the hospital. Fast forwarding ahead now to some of the things going on in this area tomorrow. A 69-year-old Lansingburg woman is sentenced for murdering her newborn baby and then burying the infant in her backyard 37 years ago. Marion Allen is expected to receive a 5-year probation sentence in Rensselaer County Court tomorrow. Olympic gold medalist Jeff Blatnick speaks at the Schenectady Community College tomorrow. His topic is not wrestling, but winning with a positive attitude. And coming up in sports, our new nightly features, the 19 Sports Extra and the Sports Extra Quiz. But first, the Knicks try to break out of an awful slump. Bud will show us how they did on 19 Scoreboard.
News Center 6 Sports is sponsored by Upstate Toyota Dealers.
Bud has news for fans of the Patroons and the Knicks tonight.
That's right. It's kind of a good news, bad news situation.
Okay, what do we get first?
Well, I think we'll get the good news
Okay.
first. Let's go to the news about the Patroons. Pensacola beat Grand Rapids tonight, 121 to 109. What does that mean? Well, they win the best-of-3 series, and that means the Pats will face Pensacola Thursday night at the Knicks when they begin the playoffs. Now to the Knicks. It's not pretty these days at Madison Square Garden. Tonight they hosted the Orlando Magic. Watch the scramble at the end of the first half here. Comes to the Magic's Otis Smith, and he hits. The Knicks only up by 1 at the half. Another tough one for Mark Jackson, slipping on the court here. But a great night for Orlando's number 4. Scott Skiles with the pretty pass here to Michael Ansley. The Magic up 3 late in the game. A familiar sight these days, Mark Jackson leaving the game late to be replaced by Maurice Cheeks. Jackson's Rookie of the Year season seems so long ago. Knicks down 2 late in the game. Patrick Ewing misses the chance to tie. But they will get another chance in the last few seconds. This time, they inbound the ball. It will come to Cheeks and then to Trent Tucker down in the corner. Tucker with the jump shot, and it does not go. Orlando snaps a 9-game losing streak, beating the Knicks 121-118. The Knicks have lost 4 in a row, and they're a game behind first place Philadelphia. NBA scoreboard tonight. The Bulls win in a blowout. Indiana routs Miami. The Pistons all over Milwaukee. Portland takes the Rockets. The Clippers and Denver are at the half. San Antonio leads Seattle. The Lakers are beating Charlotte. Bill Musselman's Timberwolves are on the coast against the Warriors. Other college tournament, the National Invitation Tournament, Oklahoma State trails New Mexico. St. Louis gets past Wisconsin, Green Bay, and Cincinnati loses to DePaul. Exciting night for the Red Wings tonight in Glens Falls. They went to overtime to beat Binghamton 2-1. Torrey Robertson getting the game-winning goal 52 seconds into overtime. The Islanders visited the Capitals tonight, trailing Washington by only 1 point for the 4th and final position in the Patrick Division. So how did they do? Well, not well. This is the Caps' Dino Cicerelli with a beautiful pass to Dale Hunter, the nicest goal of the night, making it 2-0 Caps.
They go on to beat the Islanders 3-0. Meanwhile, at the Meadowlands, the second-place Devils against Philly. The Flyers with a pretty goal here. The goal to Murray Craven. He ties the score at 2. And the Flyers go on to beat the Devils 3-2. They move within a point of the Islanders. National Hockey League scoreboard. Detroit ties with Vancouver, and the Kings lost to Minnesota. Another day of surprises at the International Tennis Players Championship in Key Biscayne. Today, the upset bug hit second seed Boris Becker. There he is. In the far court is little-known Jean Flugien of France. And this is basically how it went for Becker all day. He couldn't handle Flugien. He lost 7-6, 6-1. Also going down today, fourth seed Brad Gilbert. Baseball players are streaming into Florida and Arizona. Now, most of the Yankees have arrived in Fort Lauderdale. Deion Sanders today signed a minor league contract. Meanwhile, all eyes in the Mets camp in Port St. Lucie are on Darryl Strawberry. He's trying to come back from alcohol rehabilitation.
And I realized it's important for me to bounce back and stand up on my feet and walk on the field with my head up high and be proud about myself. Gotta like myself before I can like anybody else.
You like yourself now? You like yourself now?
Oh, I love myself, believe me.
Okay. Well, for Darryl's sake, let's hope he believes the words that he's saying. The Mets at Shea on Monday, April 9th, opening day. Coming up on our new segment, the 19 Sports Extra, when a hockey team comes to Albany, what should they name it? The announcement comes this week, so we'll make our final suggestions. And our other new feature, the nightly Sports Extra Quiz. And here's the question tonight. What was the original name of the New York Yankees?
So we'll all think about that for a moment. And when we come back, we'll also tell you how an area teen won a basketball dream come true by using her imagination and her talent. Stay with us.